Hey guys, I'm Chill Pill, and I believe a celebration is in order. It's not as festive as I was hoping. This is a mess. After nearly a decade since concept, the day's almost here. This December, SIE Japan and Gen Design are finally gonna release The Last Guardian. This game is thought to have been long dead up until about E3 of 2015. I am beyond stoked for this one, guys, and I hope Fumito Ueda knocks it out of the ballpark like he did with his last game, Shadow of the Colossus. This guy right here, this is one of the best PlayStation 2 games ever, and one of my personal favorites. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about this one today. I'll mention it, but actually what I wanted to talk about was their first go-round. Ico. Whenever anybody mentions Team Ico, they mention one of two things. Oh, I love Shadow of the Colossus, or man, I really hope The Last Guardian comes out sometime soon. But no one ever remarks on Ico, and I don't know why. I don't remember it being a bad game by any means, but I also remember me rushing through it so that I could actually get to play Shadow of the Colossus, because games have to be played chronologically, damn it. So, how did Team Ico stack up on the first go-round? Let's find out. First things first, I'll be playing Ico on the relatively recent HD re-release combo of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus for the PS3, but I wanted to take a good, hard look at the PS2 cover art they blessed the American audience with instead of the far superior Japan and European art. Beautiful. Looks like he has to poop. Anyways, the game begins with our horned hero boy, Ico, whatever, going with Ico, getting hauled off to a lovely Castle Island resort because the people in this world aren't Viking fans or something. After being entombed in a glowing Iron Man mask, he makes a most daring and intelligent escape. It's then that we meet the our other protagonist, Yorda, the most annoying half-girl, half-light bulb you'll ever encounter in any video game ever. More on that later. Much more. Even though Ico and Yorda don't speak the same language, her subtitles look like someone was trying to write out hieroglyphics in a car without shocks on a bumpy road, he decides it'd be best if they tried escaping together. For all we know, she could be telling you she wants to stay in the cage. But you know best, Ico. As you venture through the castle with your new best buddy in tow, you fight a bunch of shadow creatures with a 2x4. I just called them Heartless the entire time. Well, that and, would you sit still, you floaty bastards? And soon meet the evil queen who's trying to stop you and the fluorescent paperweight from escaping the castle. Ico's like, screw that noise, and the rest of the game is spent trying to find your way out. The whole story left me feeling bored, and the only thing more transparent than the plot were the characters. Ico is the hero boy who has to do everything to save everyone because good reasons. Yorda is a bioluminescent bump in the road that has as much personality as a wet piece of paper, and the queen just kind of shows up every now and then and goes, you're stuck in my castle. The made-up languages the characters speak is actually pretty cool, but is only spoken during the few cutscenes the game has to offer. Most of what you'll be hearing is this! This is the word Ico uses when he wants Yorda to do anything. Want her to follow you? Want her to climb a small ledge that she should be fully capable of climbing herself? Want to save the game ever? Boy. That sure was fun to listen to for hours on end. Steph, movie's about to start. Where are you? For the love of... Really? I can summarize the art style for this game in one word. Brown. Brown, brown, some green, and brown. This castle just was not that pretty to look at. Brick and bare walls for pretty much the entire game. There are points where they accentuate the mountains and ocean around the island and make the scenery genuinely nice to look at, but then they ruin it with this. A blinding white light that just makes it look like the background designers got bored with their work and just hoped the player wouldn't tilt the camera all the way to the right. There were other times when the world design just got weird, like the time the castle got a little too excited someone finally opened the main gate. The overall game is not without its charm though. There are several elements used throughout that give Team Ico's games their unique aesthetic. The design on Ico's outfit, the vague shadowy creatures, the glowy ancient magical symbols. Details like these combine together in a way that gives Team Ico their own individual fingerprint in the video game industry. Speaking of things that make Team Ico games stand out, how come the animations of the main characters always seem so wiggly, awkward, and sporadic? The way Ico jumps, runs, and just moves in general feels so disjointed and odd, especially his swimming animation. Oh, I see. When it's just you swim with all the grace and precision of a drowning gazelle, but when you grab a block, you're a regular Michael Phelps. Makes sense. And don't think I forgot about our good friend Yorda.
Oh, grumpy cat. You so grumpy. What day is it? Oh, that's right, I'm playing a thing. Wait, I'm not even supposed to be up here. Bet you have time to order a pizza.
I don't think they could have programmed a more infuriating ladder climbing animation if they replaced Yorda with a quadriplegic three-toed sloth. I will say that I like the character designs, especially the queen. Very Maleficent-y. The character color contrasts were also kinda nice, Yorda being white and the queen being black, and Ico contrasted with the grass and mountains, but I don't think that this was on purpose. I think they just really wanted the characters to stand out in the endless sea of brown. Here's the thing about the music in Ico. There is none. Let's take a quick listen to what you'll be hearing for the next several hours. Beautiful. A soundtrack that manages to capture all the grace and serenity of an 8-year-old stomping around an empty museum. I better capitalize on this new progressive genre of music before Beck beats me to it.
Hope we don't get content ID for this.
In all seriousness, the soundtrack is really lackluster. The only time any music played was during cutscenes and when you were attacked by the Heartless. In Shadow of the Colossus, the music made you feel how epic the boss fight really was, and you got pumped to stab a monster in the head repeatedly. But whenever I heard the fight music start up in Ico, all I could think was, oh boy, I get to be annoyed for the next 3 minutes. All of the music was just so bland and forgettable, and a lot of them lacked any semblance of melody completely, except for the song that plays during the ending.
The island bathes in the sun's bright rays, distant hills were a shroud of gray.
That one was okay. At least the sound effects did an okay job of setting up the peaceful ambiance of the desolate island. Nothing but birds chirping, wind blowing, torches blazing, and... that. Lots of that. The simple story, boring visuals, and lack of music are pretty unforgivable, but the worst thing this game makes is its frustrating and broken gameplay. Controlling Ico feels loose and floaty, like he never actually does what you want him to do. It doesn't help that the default settings are so unintuitive. Triangle to jump? Why not X? Like every other game ever. Also, this action button is what you hold down to swing on chains. Took me longer than I'd like to admit to figure that one out. Now, this wouldn't be such a bad thing if the game didn't expect you to have to make super precise jumps all the time. But you do, like, a lot. There was one jump in particular that pissed me off to no end.
Okay, try again. Okay, we'll try again. Let's try again. Son of a biscuit eater.
Sounds like you're having fun. What you playing?
Ico.
Yeah? What's wrong?
It's too much fun.
Can I try? I like fun. Okay, so... how do I jump?
Push triangle.
That's weird.
Uh-huh.
I did it.
Combat in this game is an absolute chore. It gets to be so repetitive and you fight the same enemies over and over. The Heartless come in 3 flavors, Crawly, Walkie, and Flappy, and they can be taken out with 3 or 4 hits from your fence post here. They'll spawn either in a scripted battle or sporadically. Sometimes they spawn and don't do anything.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
If you let them drag your friend the human Christmas light into one of their black holes, it's game over for you. But don't worry, you can't die in this game. You just wake up. Man, that stone love seat looks so comfortable. The fights get even easier after you get your hands on the sword later on, and they get super trivial when you find the Bug Zapper sword. Nothing can protect you from the most dreaded enemy in the game, however. These stupid camera controls. Besides the weapons, there is nothing else to find or collect in this castle, which makes an already empty feeling game feel even emptier. Nothing but a boy, a girl, and a castle full of puzzles. Speaking of, when I was playing through this game, I felt like with all the block pushing, switch pressing, and bomb exploding there was something missing. But what could it be? Yeah, that's better. Just change the title of this game to The Legend of Yorda. Princess. Something I found strange was that when Ico carried a bomb, he looked like he was about to give himself a hernia, but when he throws it, it just may as well be a Super Bowl.
From downtown!
Now it's time we address the glowing elephant in the room. The worst part of this game can be summarized in one word. Give me a Y. Give me an O. Give me an R. Give me a duh. What's that spell? Terrible mechanic to base your game around, of course. It's no secret that escort missions are not looked upon fondly by the gaming community, and for good reason too. It breaks the game's immersion when you're suddenly asked not only to look after yourself, but also another character, and if either of you die, you have to start the mission all over. That's what Ico is. Escort mission, the game. Now this wouldn't be so bad if Yorda actually thought for herself from time to time, but mostly she just stands there like a bump on the log unless you call out to her or ever so gently dislocate her arm from her shoulder every time you grab her hand. Without any sort of character traits to speak of, she just starts to feel like a multi-tool you need to get through the castle.
Yes, it's the amazing Yorda. Planning on exploring that creepy old castle? You'll be needing one of these. Stand in astonishment as she weighs down a button. Just stands there. Imitates her favorite Pokemon to open a door. Just stands there. Builds a bridge. And most amazing of all, just stands there. Order now, supplies are limited.
Seriously, there isn't anything else I could possibly say about this girl. I could see where the creators were going with this game, but Yorda's AI just isn't great, and most of the time it felt like she could be replaced with an incandescent rock, and I wouldn't know the difference. If you couldn't tell, I didn't have that great of a time with this game. Keeping Yorda in arm's reach the entire time was annoying, the controls were finicky, the story was boring, and the world was bland. And short. Boy, was this game ever short. They even have an achievement for beating the game under 4 hours, and another one for under 2. That just goes to show you how little there was to this game. I really had no incentive to go through a second time. Now that I've revisited Ico, I'm starting to wonder if the reason why people consider it a classic is because they don't really remember the game as it really was. Or maybe they appreciate it because without Ico, there'd be no Shadow of the Colossus, and that game was awesome. I know all game companies have to start somewhere, and their first time out probably isn't going to be a home run, but look at the leap in quality Team Ico made in just 4 short years. We go from their first game, barely registering on the fun scale, to a freaking 10 with their second. While I can appreciate how it affected the studio in the long run, playing through Ico only made me wish I was playing Shadow of the Colossus instead.
Now I know it sounds like I'm riding Ico hard in this review, but honestly, have you tried playing it recently? It didn't age well. It especially doesn't stack up to its successor Shadow of the Colossus in any way. Let's just hope that The Last Guardian follows more in the colossal footsteps of its predecessor, and not so much this guy. With a lackluster story, an ugly world, and terrible mechanics, I give this game a rating of Sacrificial Lamb. It disappointed on many different levels and just does not have any redeeming qualities to it. There are people who recommend this game and say it's a masterpiece in its own right. Their opinion is valid. I just don't agree. So, with that being said, I'm Chill Pill reminding you, try the yellow snow. I hear it tastes like banana. See ya!
Thanks for watching our amazing video over a not-so-amazing game. Hope you liked it. What did you guys think about Ico? Were you a fan? Be sure to let me know what you think and how far off base I was with this review in the comments below. Also, are you excited for The Last Guardian, or do you think it'll flop? I really hope it's a hit, but only time will tell. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and now Facebook too. And check out our latest Sleepy Sheepies. We'll see you guys next time.